Hello? Okay, it looks like I'm successfully broadcasting. I have this new setup. And I'm just trying to make sure that it works and it looks okay. Hmm. I'm kind of outside of the niche that I had set up for. Oh, hey, it's Chapelmon. Hi, Chapelmon. Yeah, I'm uh, I'm trying out a different setup, uh, and I'm supposed to have some stuff set up, so I'm just trying to figure it all out. And I figure, why not just uh, test it live? Because this is all outside of my niche, playing Warhammer 3. But if anybody decides to stop by, I can spend some time talking about uh, a movie that I saw recently, Wakanda Forever. I do have some thoughts about it. But first, I want to see if I can get. I had a chat box thing set up, but I don't think that I set it up correctly because it doesn't seem to be showing the chat. Um, yeah, I want to deal with that. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like. I mean, it's on there in the blue section on the right side, but also I got to think about it. Doesn't it looks very empty right now, which I'm not a designer, right? Like that's my problem here is that I'm not a very visual guy. I think a lot about uh the way things come across and the meaning and the semantics of stuff, but I never like I hate making stuff look nice because I kind of have an eye for like when it does and doesn't look nice, but then I never have the oh, hey Kobe, it's good to see you. Uh, I'm honestly just testing stuff out. Uh, but you're welcome to stick around. Uh, as you may remember, my normal content is oh wait, hey, I see chatbox stuff happening on the screen. Now I wonder if these messages are just going to stick around persistently. No, they're not. They're going to disappear after a little while, which is probably fine. Huh. Well, I don't have a chat that moves fast enough that I can probably just that I should set it to just fade away so quickly. That's my thought at least. I'm doing pretty good, Kobe. I'm just this I was inspired last Friday to work on this streaming stuff because I was so kindly recognized by the Minotaur Hotel Twitter because that's what I've been playing. And then I even today I had accidentally set Tumblr to post stuff automatically to my Twitter when it posts from my queue onto my blog. And they even retweeted my little tweet about like recursion as a theme and how it's popped up in a couple of the furry visual novels that I've played. So it's like I don't know. I feel it was kind of like a hit tweet for me at least because like a bunch of people retweeted it. But um, it's interesting stuff. But because that all happened, I've just been excited to work on this streaming stuff. let's see here. I appreciate that. I thought it was awesome too. Well, here, I might as well actually play this game a little bit. I do. Thanks, Kobe. Yeah, I gotta figure out though. Yeah, okay. Chat box is working. Okay, I gotta figure out how to make it look better though, because like I was saying, I'm not a very visual guy. But I like this color scheme that I have. Like this is branding that I can handle, right? Because it's 5 colors that look kind of nice together, and I can mix and match them, and that's good. Somebody very kindly offered to draw a banner for my channel, which is like, wow, that's like super nice of them to offer to do that. But the problem is that anything that I ask them to do, like I'm not going to be able to keep up that design, like a consistent design philosophy. It'll be like, I'm working on like a persona, right? Because obviously I'm playing all these furry visual novels. I'm in the community, but like, I don't want to. I don't know if I want to do the VTuber thing because like I don't have the art chops to back that up, and I certainly don't have the extra Skrilla, the extra money to spend on, like commissioning art and stuff. So it's like, and I would go on video, but like I don't know. Then I have to make sure I look presentable and stuff when I stream. Which I don't know. The last couple times I streamed in my pajamas, and that was nice. So like, I don't know. For now, I kind of like the idea of just having this like a layout. What's your furlong? My fursona. Well, that's the thing. I don't have one yet. I'm working on. I think it's gonna be like a raccoon called PT Raccoon, but like I don't know. If I do that, it's gonna be for my personal use and like. So I don't know if I want to make that part of my channel's branding, especially because I don't know. I mean, like I've been horny on main on this channel and stuff, but like I don't want. I don't know that I like. I'd like to commission lewd art and stuff with my persona. So I don't know if I want it associated with this brand. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. Making yourself presentable is usually what keeps you from starting your stream, Chapamon. See, that's what I don't want, because it's much easier if I just like, what's been happening in this game? It's much easier if I can just focus on. Oh, I'm poor. That's what's happening in this game. Damn. Okay. My peasant economy is. The Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I would like to be able to just pick up and stream on the weekend when I have time. So it would be nice to be able to not have to be on camera. And I don't really want to do the VTuber thing because again, I don't have the art chops or the money to back it up. Seeing like Canasterian, because of course all the streams I've been watching are the ones playing Minotaur Hotel, and Canasterian has like all this cool art and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. Maybe if this was a money making venture, I would consider doing something like that. But even then, I'd love to just be able to handle all the branding and stuff for myself. So the 5 color like theme and all that is kind of what I feel like will work for me. But right now it just looks so empty. I put this stuff in the bottom, 17 subscribers and the most recent subscriber, just so that there would be something there, because I don't have anything else to go there right now. And there is a sub notifier now, which I feel like is, I mean, it's a very streamer thing to do. So I think it's a good idea. And then, and that's just below the chat. And then the chat, I'm liking how it's right now. It's just keeping the stuff there because then it doesn't look so empty. But I don't know, maybe like a frame I can put there or something to make it a little clearer what's going on there. Maybe a message encouraging people to chat. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate that it's something that you're you're finding too. Chat box is the bane of your streaming setup, Chapamon, and setting up is a learning experience. It certainly is. There's a lot going on here. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm about to go into bankruptcy. Okay. What am I even trying to do in this campaign? I need to go mess with Be'lakor, and Kari is on my shores there. I probably need to kick these orcs' butts. But why am I down so much money? I feel like my economy was doing well not that long ago. Alright, well, Marienburg lost control of Krugzint. And I actually have the capital of that, so I might... We're buddies, so I might just go and take that. And that'll give me a little more income. Yeah, most streamers put the chat in its own frame. I will probably figure that. I'd rather do something else with the orc butts. I am all about orc fucking Chapomon, but you know the problem with Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy orcs, as these are, is that they're fungi and they reproduce by budding. And it's like, even if you're, you know, in the dude bro fantasy era where this is made for straight people or whatever, I don't know how you can have a bunch of big beefy dudes and then have them be sexless like that, canonically. At least the Skaven fuck. So some of the like fan art and stuff of Skaven, which I'm a big fan of, that's canonical, or it could be. It's canon compliant. But the orcs, they're sexless. It's sad to me. Okay, so can I?
Queen of Kislev. What news do you bring to the Ice Throne, friend?
I can extort her for some money.
My people are...
Okay. I can build something here. Oh, this is what happened, is I lost Musalon and a port to orc raiding. Okay, now I'm starting to put together a picture. Well, I'll start a field here to hopefully have a little more income. I'm still going to go bankrupt, but at least I'm building something. Just because they're sexless doesn't mean they don't build close relationships with each other and enjoy each other's bodies. That's true. You know what? I'm here for some orc cuddling, right? You know? Everybody knows about the wog on the battlefield, but what about, you know, what about the more tender moments in the you know, in their little tents, in their festering cities with shit piles and everything. It's actually really gross if you look at one of their maps in this game, but I don't think it'll show on the main map here. But they really know how to ruin a settlement. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think the Orc Battle Master and his mates are getting up to up in this tower? I wonder. Okay, I just gotta bite the bullet here.
Let the supplicant come forward.
Oh, you're gonna pay me to join a war? Heck yes, I will do that. I think that maybe because I have it set to easy, because my philosophy, and you know, nobody should come to this channel for hardcore gaming because this is a channel for literary discussions of games. I just happened to be playing some Warhammer 3 because I wanted to test out this new setup and everything. But my my philosophy is easy game, easy life. You know, I set games to easy usually because I'm usually not here looking to be extremely challenged. And yeah, in case anybody, I don't think I'm going to post this publicly, so it's probably just whoever's here live, but this channel is all about literary discussions of games. And right now, I think maybe I just need to go beat them up here.
I serve the lady.
Hmm.
My lady calls.
So like my thing in this channel is supposed to be, and the plan is to focus on having some I need so my thing on this channel is supposed to be literary discussions, and I don't have that much to say about this game, but I did watch the new Black Panther movie recently, and so I figured I might, just while I'm on here, talk a little bit about what I was thinking about that, because it's definitely an interesting movie. I think that one of the biggest things that I felt about it was that it's kind of rough how that the story in Black Panther in both movies is about like colonized people fighting each other. Spoilers, by the way, for the new Black Panther, I guess, because this is a spoilery channel. Always spoilers. But like, there's a new like a group of historically colonized people that have a secret nation in this movie, a la Wakanda, but they end up fighting each other, which I found very sad because I mean, it's a lot of the same problems that I have with both movies, because in the first one, in Black Panther, they have they are the Mayans. So they have Killmonger and T'Challa fighting each other for the throne, which is like already kind of like, it's a weird look to have. It's a weird look to have this group of growth control. This is problematic. The migration, and it's like a bunch of people from abroad are coming looking for a place to be, and it's like, well, you can tell them to leave and you can let them in and you'll have growth, but your crime's gonna go up. Control -3. Those bad immigrants are gonna cause your crime to go up. This is genuinely, I'm not a fan of this mechanic in this game. Now that I'm looking at it, that's largely a myth. Immigrants are more model citizens than most people in a society. They have a lot to lose, being that they're just building up their life in a new community, and usually their crime rates are much lower than the average population. And although it is correct that it does increase the economy to have immigrant communities, so growth going up makes sense. But like, kind of game design informed by bad politics here. That's what I'm looking at. Interesting. Okay, and suddenly I'm making a shit ton of money now. I gotta figure out. Oh, that's Musalon coming back online? Yeah. Got it. Anyway, I'm just getting distracted now. The thing that I was thinking about with the Black Panther is that in the first movie, there's this whole like ritual combat thing, which I mean, I don't want to sound like,
My path is clear.
you know, I'm complaining about nothing, but it's kind of, I felt it was like kind of problematic. And then in this movie, the first thing that happens when these two cultures meet each other is that there's like this huge conflict between them. And maybe it's not good to assume that these two historically colonized cultures are going to have like a good relationship like that. I'm just noticing that dummy. Huh.
You ask for a boon. Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to give.
I'm just noticing that there's a comment that showed up in the chat overlay that I'm not seeing. Oh, it's because I have top chat selected instead of live chat. That's annoying. I gotta YouTube, man. Yeah, two masculine sexless orcs giving massages to each other. Absolutely. I'm sad that I missed that before. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like it's just sad that all these movies have been conflicts between people that have, you know, like much more in common. I guess the lesson of the movie is that solidarity is necessary, right? Yeah, they were fighting over what they felt was the best thing to do with the young woman, Ironheart. Yeah, that makes sense. It's because, yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. That they and that's like a micro conflict, right? Like that's a philosophy thing of like the Namor has just, you know, is like, I have no love for the surface people, right? And so, you know, what does it mean to me if I'm going to kill one of them? It feels like they're trying to say something but don't have the guts to go all the way. That might be a way to put it, is that like these movies. Well, one thing that the villains have this like philosophy that they're espousing, and it's done better in the first movie, where people say this whole thing about Killmonger was right and all that stuff, and obviously the movie doesn't come down on Killmonger's side because it, you know, there's this hand wringing about violence, right? Where like all violent action is bad, even like revolutionary violence, like you're gonna hurt people, like it's not worth it. But in reality, you know, I don't think that it's always bad to have some sort of violence and protection of a community. There's probably some middle ground there. I don't know if I think that it's legitimately true, like that if you just said we're gonna go arm oppressed communities all over the world with like untraceable weapons of mass destruction, that's probably not a good way to spur revolutionary violence. But certainly it's true that his message and the fact that in the end of the movie, he, like his wish is granted. Like he's made a change to Wakandan international diplomacy is like a cool thing about that movie. Fascinatingly, in the new movie, the fact that Shuri goes to the ancestral plane and meets N'Jobu. I'm getting his name mixed up. Killmonger. Children of the Lady. Got it. Okay. It's like, oh wow. Okay, I'm having more trouble talking about one thing and playing a game than I thought I would, even though this feels like a really simple one. It's cool that he came back, that Killmonger came back, because it's true what he says in the movie, like literally true, that it's like, you know, your father like literally abandoned me and killed his own brother because he was trying to like change the way that, you know, to change the situation for the people living in Oakland, and your brother, you know, had whatever strictures he had that kept him from doing the right thing when he came to power for the first time. He was, you know, bought into the myth of, you know, Wakanda as this isolationist state. But and your mother, you know, your mother and I, like, we were the ones that were willing to go and do what needed to be done. And in the end, the reason that Wakanda is doing all this great stuff is because Killmonger came around and like showed the elders and everybody there that you can't just sit on your laurels. You gotta do the work to make people's lives better. So I was glad that he returned. Why can't I build this? I don't have a windmill. I see. Interesting. Got it. But I just wish that, I don't know. I just wish that we got a more friendly, like we got an why can't their enemies be colonizers, right? Like why can't Black Panther be about like that revolutionary violence? What if, you know, Killmonger comes up and is like, we gotta arm the people, and then instead of being like, no violence is acceptable, if they were like, okay, you know, we have a better way to do it, and like they actually start, like, because, you know, the fact that there's a character in those movies that's like a CIA agent, and they do some work on that in the second movie, and by the end of it he's not really a CIA agent anymore, it seems like, if I remember correctly. But like in the first movie, the fact that there's like a literal CIA agent, and not only do they like have him just be a good guy CIA agent, but that in the movie it's like he's like, oh yeah, Killmonger, he's one of our guys, he's one of our insurgents that we use to topple governments, and he's gonna do that here. And it's not immediately like, oh, you've done horrible thing. Like the fact that he's just like, he's suddenly a good guy because he wants to help the Wakandans, and then he goes back to his CIA job and it's still like, oh, we're buddies, is crazy. Like, if you're gonna make a movie where you have some like actual like reflection on colonization and like like the what if story of like, what if there were, an African nation that like wasn't subjected to the cultural forces that like suppressed innovation and advancement there. Like, I don't. If you're gonna explore those ideas, it feels wildly off the mark to just be like, ooh, small bean CIA agent, but he's a good guy. Don't worry. It's like, it just feels so off. I don't know. That's my big problem with Black Panther, and I don't know. It's not that interesting. I think it's probably a point that many people have made before, but I figured I should say something introspective while I'm streaming, because that's supposed to be the whole idea of this channel. But you'll scare off all the white people. Won't someone think about the colonizers? Yeah, it's true. If you like, there is a version of Black Panther where they come out guns blazing and they're just like, yes, send weapons all over the world, and they just gun down all of the world governments that are oppressive and bullshit, and like and like the end of the movie is just like, okay, we did it, like the world is better now because we have killed everybody who has a net worth above $1 billion, and anybody with any sort of like political power, and like the world is better for it. And while that would be a great movie, I have trouble believing that it would have succeeded in getting made. I've heard that same complaint from different people talking about the first movie. I agree. It's like, it's fangless. They should be, they should make their point more actively.
King Lewin.
I hate leveling up in this game. Trying to. But all in all, I did enjoy the movie. It's just, it's almost like it made me sad. It made me sad that that's still what's happening in the world of Marvel. Is that
Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to give.
Yeah, you got it. But I don't know. The next movie I want to see is the new Knives Out movie, and I'm gonna try to get that done. And Knives Out is one of those stories where it's like, I want to say that like there's like lots of interesting stuff happening in Knives Out, but the reason I like it, Watson, Watson is Martin Freeman, yes. It makes sense to call him Watson. It is an iconic role for him. Bilbo is pretty much there to be one of the good ones. I haven't seen Black Panther, but as someone on the outside looking in, Martin Freeman seems to be playing the token white in a black movie. He is. I feel like he's very much doing that, because he is like, to my knowledge, he's the only white character of any consequence in that story. And the same is true of the second movie too, honestly. Which is cool. Is its own cool thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff about the Black Panther stories that are just genuinely really cool, and that I don't want to take away from. We're just here to help Faye Enchantress. Yeah, I would never want to take that stuff away from the movie's accomplishments, but he's actually really important to the story. Yeah, from a plot perspective, he provides like vital information on Killmonger. In the second movie, he's vital to the story in a plot way, because he's like, he provides the impetus for them getting to Ironheart and all that stuff. Like, he's definitely an important character in the story, but is he but like thematically, what's he doing there? And I think that probably the reason he's included, like, because you could have a black character do that stuff that he did. The reason that he's white is like not like tokenism per se. Well, yeah. I mean, it is just tokenism, I guess. Yeah. But also, I guess to kind of, they don't, their message isn't anti-American, right? So like that's part of it too, which is wild that it isn't, because it totally could be. He keeps the U.S. from not declaring a war on Wakanda. I mean, the fantasy of Black Panther is that the U.S. is incapable of declaring war on Wakanda. Like it's so outweighed. Like that's like the fun part about that story, right? Is that like the U.S. can't. The U.S. can't do anything about Wakanda. Wakanda's 10 times as powerful. You know, it's like they're hopelessly, hilariously outgunned. Oh, I gotta research. We got. All right, I'm not gonna start doing this. We're gonna be diplomatic in this game. But I do see what you mean, Kobe. Like in the story, he maintains a connection between Wakanda and the U.S.
Ask for a boon. Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. Tyrion. Oh. Yeah. Nice. I think that I want to watch more Black Panther movies. I do think they're fun. So it's not like it's soured me on the whole thing. A lot of people are down on the whole. Wow, we got a lot of orcs taking care of that turn. A lot of people are down on the whole Marvel thing. It's like the project is, it's like it's very pop culture stuff.
The lady's chosen.
Just like yes, BioShock Infinite is worth playing because it's got a very counter-revolutionary subplot in it that you're mentioning, picking up. Okay, suddenly I'm fucking poor again. I gotta figure out what's happening with. Maybe we just shore up control. That can help us. How the heck am I down that much so quickly? Was it just these questing nights? Maybe I don't.
Your coming was foretold. We have. Your behest, prophetess.
I'm gonna at least get rid of these mountain yeomen.
The lady wills it. What is your behest? Your coming was foretold.
Okay. Oh, these knights are actually much more expensive than I thought. We're just gonna disband this army. It was poorly thought out. Now we're making tons of money, and we just gotta grow our income. We'll just have Lewin Leoncourt can go around questing and taking all the territory we want, and then we'll just get a new army when we get the Fey Enchantress on board after we confederate her. Oh, that's what we should be researching. Now that I remember that. Oh, yeah, we're gonna switch over to that actually. BioShock Infinite, yeah, the Vox Populi are like a revolutionary faction in the game. We're working against like an obviously like patriarchal, corrupt government, and the game goes out of its way to do this whole thing of like, but they're violent too, and this like alternate universe thing where they take over and they become super fascist. It's like, for one, it's dumb, right? It's like, that's not like the message. Both sides are bad. Actually, it's just straight up not interesting to me at least. Like, just say have something more interesting to say than like, actually the good guys and the bad guys both do bad things, and therefore they're equally morally bad. It's like, this faction was called the Hung Warband. These are beastmen, I'm pretty sure. So we got some hung furries out there, but not anymore. That's tragic, really.
A king stands with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Marienburg's taking that back. That's fine.
I go forth.
Okay. It's time for us to start going abroad to... Yeah, I know, Ari, but it's time for us to go take care of Ankari. I love Ankari and the whole Slanesh thing, but we're just too noble of knights to let him do his thing right now. I'm trying to think if there is any sort of, like, interesting, like, narrative stuff I can draw from Warhammer for you. I'm not a huge lore head about Warhammer. Like, obviously, we're not a lore channel, which I try to make clear. We're a literature channel, but so I lost all interest in that game since I started selling season passes before the game was released. Which game are you talking about, Chapamon? BioShock Infinite? Oh, yeah. That's fair. BioShock Infinite. They did have that whole season pass thing going on. It's just become such a normal part of gaming. Not really for the better. Like, none of those things that were in the gameplay demo even made it into the final game. Yeah.
Have your will, and I'll have it now.
Okay. What are we doing? I want to tell them that they need to give me Aquitaine, but I'm not actually close enough to it. We'll just decline for now. the BioShock Infinite stuff where it was just coming out. Yeah, it's like I am sad to see how normalized a lot of the business practices that I mean I feel like nobody likes, but just always become part of. I guess we're doing. Yeah, we're doing a weaving house. Oh wait, no, that's a water wheel. Okay. We're an agrarian economy in this game, baby. Horse armor was like a huge controversy when they made a DLC for Skyrim that was just like all cosmetic, and they were like, "What? They're making an expansion to a game that's like, or this wasn't to Skyrim, this was to Oblivion. I'm sorry. Wow. Auslan. Yeah. And yet that's become so typical now, like for cosmetic DLC and paid stuff, and to the point of this whole season pass junk with like Overwatch. It's so sad. But this is the.
And I will see if it is within my power to give.
It's hard for me to really think that we're gonna see like things get better with under capitalism. It's not like these things are profitable and that's why they happen. There's no other logic to it. So yeah. Sorry, Ankari, we're not down with you. Okay. It trickles down to lower tier games as well, and it will likely affect indie games at some point. I will be sad if we start seeing like some of the like indie studios doing stuff like that. Like if pay like it'll be like in Silksong, pay an extra $20 and you get the you can dress Hornet in a sexy costume. I don't know. The title indie game is not even applied appropriately. Well, you have like the whole. I'm no expert on the game industry, but it is interesting to see like AA versus AAA versus indie games. Like, there's been some good like middle ground stuff recently that I've been a fan of. But it's true that just like the that's like it's indie studios because they're not. I don't even know what the official definition is, but they're like actually. They actually have they have like the resources to make like what is more typical of a AAA game, and so that just it makes it more complicated, I guess. I know a few people that are into Warhammer 40k, but I haven't gotten into Warhammer. That is fair. Warhammer, for one, Warhammer 40k, like the tabletop game, I was like, that's an expensive hobby. I don't know that I would be able to get into that. The lore and stuff, I'm somewhat of a fan of, so I enjoy like playing the video games that are Warhammer 30k, like Dawn of War? No. I don't remember, but some of that's fun. Devolver Digital, they market themselves like an indie publisher, but they're not really. more of like a mid-market publisher now. Yeah, that's very true. And like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, in their E3 period. Yeah, and that's not necessarily like a bad thing to have in like a healthy market for games, I guess. It's just, you know, confusing, maybe for the consumer. It's the you know what's a good example is those man, I can't even remember what they're called now. I'm so mad that I can't remember the name of this game. Can I pull up Steam? And yeah, and somehow it's not messing up my stream or anything. I don't think. Yeah. Hellblade, I think, is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Hellblade came from like one of these like indie studios that's like more that designs like with a more AAA philosophy and was supposed to be really good. So I don't know. I'm not like against AAA industry existing. Like I really enjoyed I like all the FromSoft games. And I especially like Sekiro. There's some fun stuff going on even in the more like slickly produced game design spaces and all that. It all has its place, I guess. I just, obviously, I'm a communist, a socialist, or whatever you want to say. So, like, I would love to see a game design industry that's not based on profit, because then it would just be like fun art. Like it would just be like we're doing good stuff. But then, at the same time, sometimes there's benefits to. Gosh, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. It's complicated. That's what I'll say. Yeah, we're taking out Inkari? Cool. Electronic Arts started, yeah. Microsoft acquired the creators of Hellblade. That is kind of unfortunate. Where does all of these non-capital cities are just going to be? They're just going to be satellite farms for our glorious kingdom. That's what we're doing. Yeah, Electronics Arts has some like, there's some wild posters and art and stuff from early on in the thing where it's like we want to create games that say something meaningful about the world, and then like today they're this terrifyingly corporate mega publisher and stuff, and it's yeah. I'll let you do it, but you better raise them. Oh wait, no, that's elves, so they're fine. All right. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I should even be commenting on the game industry. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But it is true that I wish that it were less captured by profit interest. I mean, that's like, but it's so hard to complain about that because like who isn't? What art is created in this world that doesn't have a profit interest put it like behind it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's. I'm still trying to think if there's a good way to draw something meaningful out of Warhammer. A lot of these properties that have like a battle theme stuff. Your channel, Chapamon's. Yeah, Chapamon, youtube.com/Chapamon is not a profit-seeking enterprise. But I will say, why does it exist? I imagine, at least in part, because of, you know, YouTube has created a space that allows for it to exist in a way. Not that don't think you might be doing it even without that, but like it's part of a larger enterprise which is profit seeking, and that enterprise uses people like you and me who are interested in creating something of value to others or of value to ourselves, and offers us at a cost, right? Because we certainly bring in money for them. So like, if not describing it as its own cost, you know, we're imposing the cost on our viewers of peasants' duty. We're gonna get these peasants to fuck. We're putting out all kinds of posters, like in Japan, about procreating. Yeah, that's true. And you know, a lot of people were surprised that my videos are still up on YouTube covering adult games. Yeah, most creators won't cover them because they get demonetized. Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't know, for this I was like, I'm not going into it thinking I'm going to make any money, so I'm not going to worry about, all my videos are set to 18 plus, and like, even if I can't show some stuff because of TOS, I'm still going to talk about, you know, hot man-on-bull sex with Asterion and furry porn and all that. Because, you know, that's what I'm here for.
You ask for a boon. Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to give.
They like that I give battle support. Oh. Sure. Take care of some Dark Elves. It's a troubling state of affairs, for sure, because and generally I think that I have a big problem with like prudish cultural pressure. The trade-off is that we let YouTube exploit our art if they're able to, so that we are able to share it with the world and hopefully find an audience. Exactly. You know, we're part of a larger profit-motivated enterprise. But okay. Where are we? Yeah. A lot of people are surprised that my videos are still. What was it? There's a whole movement towards having a more prudish culture around certain stuff that I'm really uncomfortable with. Like in a lot of queer communities right now, there's a big push against, you know, it's like NSFW kinky stuff or whatever, and that scares me too. But just generally, I think it's sad that on YouTube and some other social media platforms, Tumblr in particular is one that comes to mind, it's like we're afraid to have sexual content and stuff. I wish that it's an important part of our culture. It's stuff that a lot of people care about. This stuff.
I shall prevail.
I'm not gonna make it there in time. Yeah. I have no interest. It's part of our human experience. Yeah, it totally is. And so I wish it were allowed to be a bigger part of our cultural spaces, our shared cultural spaces, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, all of that stuff. But part of it is because it's a profit-seeking enterprise, which is like, I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that's like, it's all because of capitalism. And but you know, it is. That is why bad stuff happens, you know, at a societal level a lot of the time. Sweet. No, I'm gonna do that.
The lion. Glory awaits. The lady's chosen.
Wow, I get so easily distracted. Just stop talking, looking at the game. That's going to be a habit that I have to train myself out of, isn't it? So, just thinking about what I was saying earlier about Warhammer and other like war-based franchises, it's it kind of it opens up an interesting space for storytelling because you're trapped into having this world that is, you know, where one of the like more horrific things that you can write and think about is like commonplace or becomes regular. Oh my, what? I'm so mad.
Champion of the lady.
You're right there. You're not going to escape. You're going to get absolutely crushed. Yeah. Kill them all.
I am the blood of Gilles. You seek the lady's favor.
Okay. I've been trying not to do it, but I truly hate picking skill points, so I'm setting them to auto level up, so I don't have to worry about it.
You ask for a boon.
I don't know. What does
See if it is within my power to give.
this world of Endless War have to say? I mean, there's super factions and sub factions in this game, so like I really don't get along that well with like the Wood Elves, but they are part of the super faction of like Order and like the forces of order in the world versus the chaos. And then there's also like kind of the undead, which they have their own thing going on too, it seems like. Or like my faction canonically doesn't have very much to do with Cathay, which is like way far away, but we're part of the same general push for the world. And that strikes me as interesting, I guess. Hey, speaking of Cathay, Celestial Loyalists. Or Cathayan people. I don't know. I think I'm trying to force something because I can't really think of anything.
Farewell. For the lady.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll talk about that another time. I probably need to put some forethought into it. The only other thing that I was gonna bring up was that I've been thinking that of what I want to do after Minotaur Hotel. Not that it will be anytime soon. But like, I've been thinking about if I should do like other visual novels. Makes sense in some ways, but also that's definitely not the only kind of game that I play, or even the primary type of game that I play. So like, I was also thinking Hollow Knight would be really cool to revisit and talk about, because there's so many lore videos about Hollow Knight, but that game's imagery and stuff is just like pregnant with meaning about like civilization and a lot of ideas that are interesting, and people just don't talk about that stuff. So that might be like something that is a good choice for me as well. I don't know.
Let the supplicant come forward.
Okay. Well, I have enjoyed talking and testing out and doing a little Monday night stream, but I think for now I'm gonna be done, just because I keep running out of things to say, and I already said everything that I wanted to. So it's just, I'm not here just to fuck around. I'm here to talk about literature or whatever. So since I'm not really playing a game that's going to inspire a lot of thoughts, and I did accomplish what I was looking to do this evening, I'll probably say goodnight for now. So thank you to everybody who watched, and if you are watching a VOD, I'm wondering if I later, after this point, decided that I should publish it for some reason. It doesn't seem like a great video to do that with, but, who knows. In any case, I am always open to people sharing what they have to say about what I have to say, so that we can get in an endless back and forth talking about the video games that we like. So if you do watch this and you want to put some thoughts in the comments about what you think of Black Panther and Killmonger and all that stuff, please do. Just be nice. Okay. Now I gotta figure out this whole ending thing. Let's see.